as well to get there quickly. Warp Prism moving in this direction, probably going to try to warp in some units. If he makes it, Marine Fire, oh, lost it unfortunately. Scan going down, that was a little bit wasted actually. I think he would have taken it down without the scan, but that is neither here nor there. Now, where are those Colossus? Are they going to start to come out? Zealots mopping up the rest of Jimpo's units inside of WhiteRa's main base. And are we seeing that Colossus come out right now? No, so he is going to be getting another Warp Prism. He wants to continue to drop. He wants to build a warp in units inside of Jimpo's base, trying to take advantage of the mobility of that Warp Prism, although you do have to realize very, very, very fragile. Medevacs just chilling out here, not the best idea. Getting feedback on them, so 2 of them get dropped instantaneously. Gonna be seeing some ghosts move up. EMP completely wasted. There was nobody there to hit with, so that's very unfortunate. Gonna be moving forward. Gonna be seeing some storms in a minute, I am sure. Where are the storms? No, EMP went down, so no storms coming down at all for WhiteRa. Jimpo's doing a pretty good job here of mopping up WhiteRa's forces, although we are seeing some reinforcement. Storm going down as well from these reinforcement High Templar, and that is going to force Jimpo to pull back at the moment. Get some units up here. Missile turret kind of chilling out by the Zelnaga tower. Really exciting game so far. Fairly long game as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, guys. I think I might have a pass out, have a heart attack halfway through. I'm just kidding. I am fully capable. Here we go. Are we seeing a thermal lance upgrade? I would like to see that from WhiteRa. Drop that down. That's going to quickly bolster the effectiveness of any Colossus that he decides to get out, although he still again hasn't decided to go for Colossus. He wants to stick to these ground units at the moment, probably afraid of losing the Colossus to a quick snipe. That would obviously be quite terrible. Attempting to come down with an expansion here as well, so WhiteRa is continuing to try to expand. Finally, Jimpo is going to be moving over here to this high yield. Seeing some DT come in for WhiteRa. This could be a little bit devastating. He's hidden from multiple angles. Looks like Jimpo is aware of the DT over here. He's going to be coming down with the medevac scan going down as well, so that's going to take care of those. But inside of his natural expansion, we do have some Dark Templar. That one's dropping down. Stay out of the scan, buddy. Stay out of the scan. Wrong direction. What are you doing? That's too bad. Archon up here at the high ground. I don't know if it can reach that, though. I'd imagine it would be attacking if it could, so probably no. WhiteRa moving forward with his forces. Where is Jimpo's army? Jimpo, where's your army? It's over there. It needs to be over here. Going to be moving into your expansion and probably doing quite a bit of damage, although got some stim pack going down. And these forces, nope, not going to last that long. Those Immortals making very quick work of the Marauders. More Zealots, High Templar, and Archons streaming in. And Jimpo needs to get his forces over there very quickly. He's going to lose this expansion, otherwise losing a bit of SCVs there. Going to be moving into the main, maybe trying to take down some production buildings. Zealots running in the wrong direction, right into the force of Jimpo. Retreat, guys. Get into the base. Do as much damage as you can. That is where you want to be. Taking out a few of the loose stragglers over there. Going to fall pretty quickly. EMP going down as well. Taking out, again, like I said, most of the shields of this Archon. And then the Archon does drop very quickly. Looks like WhiteRa is dropping 2 expansions very quickly. He does want to catch up to Jimpo. He does realize that Jimpo has the expansion up here, and he doesn't want to fall too far behind economically. Great observer placement, fully aware of the size and position of Jimpo's army. I wouldn't fall too closely, though. Jimpo will see you there. That folded, bended light is fairly obvious to anybody with a keen eye. Zealots moving forward. Going to be getting a feedback down on that Ghost. That is big. That is very big. Now he doesn't have to worry about that EMP. Going to see some Storms now as well. And Zealots plus Storm equals GG for Marines and Marauders. Pretty crazy. Still no Colossus. Just been relying on Zealots and Storm. He decided, again, not to tech up to Colossus. And yeah, that's it. It just decided not to tech up to Colossus. You're going to be getting a stim pack down over here, though, and taking out WhiteRa's high yield expansion. But luckily for WhiteRa, he's pretty much done with it anyways. He says, I don't care. I'm just going to move these minerals to my other base. I'm already done with this expansion. Welcome to the Fist of my Zealots. And a drop going down over here in WhiteRa's base as well. So lots of harassment from multiple angles from both players over here. Going to be lifting up and moving his units. Probably going to be trying to drop over here and take this out before it gets back up as well. Going to be seeing some Dark Templar warped in over here due to this War Prism. Taking out that expansion. That lone Zealot, that hero Zealot, took out an entire base. What a baller. What a boss. Nexus is about 50% of the way in. Archon still chilling out up here. Not doing a whole lot, unfortunately. Dark Templar going to be moving around, trying to take out, ooh, that is prime for the pickin'. Dark Templar, please walk down there, take out all of those SCVs. That would be nuts. Probably going to be seeing a scan over here. Scan does go down, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Going to be seeing that War Prism moving to the back over here. Ooh, no. No, over here, War Prism. Wrong direction. That's too bad. I don't even know what he's doing up there. He'd be much better off back here doing a lot of damage. I'm not sure if WhiteRa knows about that yet. Are seeing these this medevac still up here. Going to be healing up these Marauders for another drop. Trying to do some damage. Drop going down. He's going to start picking off, but WhiteRa does have units very, very close to reinforce. Drop going down over here with an Immortal, taking out this Engineering Bay before finishes researching. That is huge. Is he going to cancel it? I don't believe he did. Doesn't look like Jimpo canceled that. Jimpo's in a lot of trouble. Seeing a lot of drop harass from WhiteRa. Where is Jimpo's drop? I think that got demolished over there, so Jimpo not in the best position and getting some DT warped in. Not seeing a whole lot of cloak detection. This orbital command is floating in the air, so it's not going to be able to land and scan. He's going to have to drop that in order to do so. Stalker being warped in should take care of this Viking, but not before WhiteRa loses his unit. And lots of damage going down from WhiteRa. Jimpo's just running around right now like a chicken with his head cut off. I'm not sure he knows where to go. He's getting harassed from so many different positions. Archon drop going down on this expansion, completely denying all the mining, taking out that Viking as well. Seeing no offensive right now from Jimpo. Jimpo's just kind of scrambling, trying to defend his own base. He's getting hit from so many angles with so many different types of units. We're getting Immortal, Stalker, and Dark Templar in his main base, taking out lots of units. Finally taking out that Archon, but not before losing his high yield expansion. So he's in a very tough spot right now. Jimpo's pretty much relying on this island expansion for mining, and meanwhile WhiteRa hasn't been attacked in quite some time. He's been free to mine, and he's not doing much right now. We're not seeing any warp. There we go. So finally seeing some warp-ins. Sitting on quite a bit of minerals there and a little bit of Espion. I feel like WhiteRa may feel like he's won this game by now, though. I mean, look at this Dark Templar right now, taking out so many buildings. There is a kill count. I wish there was a building kill count for the unit. That would be pretty amazing, because that thing's taken out at least a lot of S supply depots, at the very least. Dark Templar, again, continuing to move down. Going to be moving down into this direction. Whew! And lots of energy here, but yeah, scan going down, so going to be losing that Dark Templar, unfortunately. Another Dark Templar moving out, so WhiteRa just keeping up with the Dark Templar, and this is obviously why he hasn't gone for Colossus at all this game. He's been sticking with Dark Templar as well as these High Templar, so that's been using a lot of his Vespian, and that's basically where he's been focusing. Getting some armor upgrade 30 minutes into the game. We are seeing a ground armor level 1 upgrade, but you know what? He has been busy with his minerals, making units, and attacking, so there is no time for armor. Who needs armor when you can just kill crap? Going to be moving into the main base, continue to do some more damage. Jimpo is supply blocked right now, so we are seeing no more units come out for him. Not getting this missile turret up as well, unfortunately. Marauder's going to be moving into WhiteRa's base, taking out that cannon. Way too many units here for him to deal with, though. Those Marauders, those Zealots moving in onto those Marauders, making pretty quick work of them. Zealots moving from behind as well. We did see some of those get lifted up, but they're going to be shot down by those Archons. Can we get a feedback? That doesn't really matter. There's not much energy on those units. Trying to do as much damage as possible. You can see Jimpo just trying to do what he can. He realizes right now very far behind. He doesn't have these two expansions up. Getting really low on minerals, except for this one. He could try to get an expansion up here, bring his units over there, and try to defend it, but he's been constantly harassed by these Dark Templar. That's got to be really frustrating. What he needs is a couple Raven on the board, but you know, he can't really, well, I guess he could afford it, but where's his, does he have a starport anywhere? Be nice if he had a starport. I don't think he does right now. So no starport. It doesn't seem like there's a starport for Jimpo, so he's not able to make a Raven. Would be great if he did, because he obviously needs one. Those scans aren't going to be enough all game. He's going to run out of energy. Wants to stay out of the range of that missile turret. I believe he is in the vision range of that missile turret right now. Yeah, he is. So Jimpo can clearly see he needs to get out of the range of that in order to survive, and not going to try to move back a little bit, and there you go. So attacking the refinery out of the range and vision of that missile turret. EMP going down, taking it out though. Jimpo's got some units chilling out on the high ground here, but not going to be enough. Medevac's very, very low in HP. Try to bring those home, repair them, and then do what you can. And whoa, big storm going down, taking out those Medevacs very quickly, doing a bit of damage to those Marauders. As you can see, Psy Storm not that effective against Marauders. It does some damage, but not quite enough. And yeah, just constant harassment from WhiteRa. Dark Templar everywhere in his base, in his face, all over the place. That was really bad. And Jimpo continuing to try to mine from here. Unfortunately, he is stuck right now, like I said, just on these barracks, and he's got this one factory. So with no starport, he's not going to be making any more medevacs. He's not going to have the opportunity to make that Raven. I would really like to see that. Come on, Jimpo, make a starport. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Scan going down, trying to take out some of that Dark Templar. Going to be mopping up these Zealots pretty quickly with this massive Marines. Jimpo needs to do what he can to be offensive. He's basically been on his back foot for quite some time. Basically, as soon as WhiteRa started dropping and moving all over the place with Dark Templar, it's kind of immobilized, it's paralyzed Jimpo, if you will. He hasn't really moved beyond the halfway point of this map. We've seen a drop or two, but nothing that effective. Only a few Marines and Marauders and 1 or 2 medevacs. It's been a while, though, since Jimpo has done any damage, and if it continues to go along this way, Jimpo is obviously at a loss. You know, he doesn't have nearly the same mining that WhiteRa does. WhiteRa doing really well now, mining from 2 bases, getting Vespian from this third base over here. Excuse me, guys. More DT coming down, and this could be the dagger that does Jimpo in. He doesn't have the cloak detection. He's been saving his energy for scans, but not quite enough. In fact, at the moment, no energy for scanning. He doesn't have what he needs. Missile turret over here defending this, but this is going to get mined out shortly. And Jimpo, again, he needs a starport. He needs some Ravens. Otherwise, he's going to get non-stop harassed from these Dark Templar. Going to be losing right now that factory, and probably going to be losing a barracks or 2 before he can manage to take EMP going down, but not going to be enough. WhiteRa moving out that Dark Templar. This one's just going to fall to fire damage, I'm sure. Another EMP going down. Still, though, we've got a couple EMP going down as well over there. Is he going to lose this last one? Yep. Oh, no, missed the EMP, and there we go. Finally, EMP going down right on top of that Dark Templar and taking it out that time. Another Dark Templar over here. Is this one going to do any damage? I'm not sure. He's not now. He's not going to be able to move in there with this bunker plus that missile turret. But again, WhiteRa, and here you go. There's the death strike right there. WhiteRa's just been at such a huge advantage, been doing so much harassment and having no problem gathering. His economy basically hasn't been hindered in quite some time, so because of that, you can see this giant death ball that he has. Those charge zealots are going to do quick work to these Marines and Marauders. Might see an EMP or 2 from these ghosts. You can see not a lot of them are filled up with energy. Only a few of them. There's about 3 of them with full energy, but that's not going to be enough to handle this huge force here. And that Colossus right there too. That's going to do pretty quick work. Cloak going down. Going to be seeing a couple EMPs. About half of WhiteRa's force has been EMP'd. And there we go. There's the GG from Jimpo. Good game indeed. Very long. Again, unfortunately for Jimpo, he was on his back foot for way too long and just wasn't doing enough damage. Excellent job by WhiteRa with all of that Dark Templar harassment. It was just a bit too much for Jimpo to handle. So once again, guys, this has been Force from Force Strategy Gaming. Sorry again for the delay. Hope you guys enjoyed this game for my triumphant return. And as always, guys, if you like our videos, please do go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Helps us out quite a bit. Thanks again, guys. Keep watching and keep owning. Why there are people leaving games and how there are people observing the games. Realize that a lot of these games professional players play are custom games so that they can set up the match. You know, they don't just randomly meet in the ladder. And you can see in this game here, there are a whole bunch of observers. So people just kind of watching what's going on, checking out the game. Maybe some people commentating on it as well. Going to be pushing forward with this Stalker, taking out Goody's SCV. So Reen gets a victory there, although he took some heavy losses early in the game. And this Banshee is probably going to wreak some havoc over here. That observer is coming out right now, though. Just finished for Reen. I think it finished. There was an observer somewhere, wasn't there?